Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the second session of Bite Marks, Lone Star Falling. I am our MC and facilitator, Ferret, also known as Sawyer. I use he, him pronouns, but any pronouns that are said with respect are fine by me. And these are my wonderful players, all gathered from the Gauntlet, which is set on the gauntlet-rpg.com. If you want to hear more, probably with some odd ramblings from myself, view our previous session of Bite Marks. But with that done, we shall get into our pre-game pack ritual. Our alpha will not be joining us today, so I will be taking the wonderful place of Aunt Gert, the replacement alpha, for tonight and starting us off. So, I believe we are all gathered in the woods under the waxing gibbous moon with some moonshine brought by our wonderful Jessie Carlisle. And it is Aunt Gert who has I think, a mason jar full of it. She raises her glass and says, "May the pack find strength and unity tonight." And she will look to our eldest member. And Garrett, what do you hold for the pack tonight?
May our teeth strike true, and may the aches and pains of an old man not slow us down too much.
And choose who goes next, Garrett.
Sorry about that. I forgot the tab opens with Zoom. Well, when I was talking about old men, I was obviously referring to Lincoln.
May our hunt be prosperous and our wolf selves be true.
And may the moon shine down on us as we hunt.
So it is the waxing gibbous moon, the night the entire pack hunts to get out that feral instinct that builds and builds over the course of the month. And with Acalia having to deal with the military and rumors of a militia looking for werewolves in town, it is up to us to take down a wonderful stag. And Aunt Gert is being theatrical, promising as she walks around, saying this sort of back in her swagger of being the old pack leader once again. And she points to the others. We will begin with transformation one by one. And may the newest of us go first, as Paolo and Colt are looked at by the rest of the pack. So, Colt, will you roll to harness the wolf, unless you want to say something beforehand?
No, I think that Colt is just going to kind of nod, and he'll kind of strip off and start to. It probably takes him a moment to sort of get the to sort of let the wolf into him, but then his transformation begins, and that's an 8, I believe. And just double check my stats. I've not quite got them in my head yet. Yes, that's an 8.
So you choose one from the Release the Wolf list.
Sure thing. I think I'm going to add 2 to the pack pool for this one because this hunt is all about bonding and that. So yeah, I think.
Okay. And Aunt Gert points to Ichi and Lincoln. The strong arm of the pack shall go next.
Back for my tab. And it's plus feral. So that is 9.
Unless someone from the pack wants to spend a pack pool to aid in this wolfishness and push that to a 10. Which I think Aunt Gert will just by like guiding the pack.
Okay.
So yeah, you have a 10.
So I'll choose 2. I will add 2 to the pack pool. And I think I will add 1 plus 1 harm for my biting claws if I ever meet those.
Understood. Good. And finally, Aunt Gert turns to Jesse and Garrett and grins, and may the eldest and most troublesome of us all join with the rest, and the final members of the pack begin to change. So roll to harness the wolf, Garrett.
Gert, why do you always have to flirt with me like that? Most troublesome? I'm flattered. You silver-tongued devil, you.
I'll have to see a wolf blush.
There's an 8.
Okay, you get 1 choice from the list.
I'll just add 2 to the pack pool.
We are feeling very communal tonight. I'll just let everyone know we are now at 9 pack. We can now defend our territory if it ever comes to that. But yeah, I think this is the night itself smells cooler. You can feel the essence of the pack tied to your special prey, almost guiding you. And I imagine this as those video game light trails towards your destination, or some kind of feel of mist maybe leading you toward it, or glowing footprints, depending on how the wolf senses translate to your humanoid brain. But there's also another smell on the air. One of oil, gunpowder, and impotence. Be careful tonight. I think that's when the pack darts off under the moonlight and towards their prey. So I think Aunt Gert does let the eldest take charge. So let me check the moves again real quick. As I think she's going to allow Garrett to maybe act on instinct the first time to try and guide them towards their prey. Does that sound good to you, Garrett?
Why not? That's an 11 on the dice.
Okay. Describe how your senses do not betray you, and how you help guide us away from the mansplaining ignorant smell and towards the prey smell.
Well, it's really easy to smell the difference between failure and nature. I mean, basically all I have to do is, figure out what the difference is between the scent of terrified man piss and deer piss is, and follow the deer piss. And the two really are not that similar. So it's pretty easy.
And I think that Colt and Paulo are the ones who first jump out and see the stag out in the open and can start nipping at its heels to drive it towards a direction with the rest of the pack. And Colt, how are you doing this as you burst upon the first prey you've seen in quite a while?
Yes, I think Colt kind of skitters like around one side of this of the creature. I think he's sort of almost herding it. But yeah, he's almost doing that sort of thing of kind of running backwards and forwards a bit on one side of it. Like I said, kind of like a sheepdog, but also just out of general kind of excitement and burning up some energy.
Good. And I think with Paolo's help, you can definitely herd it towards this. You sort of, I think, like there's this set of trees where like they're so tightly held together that the deer can't go one side or the other, and tunneling it down this one place. Lincoln, I think this is when you're going to be ready to strike. So would you roll to maul the deer?
Excellent. I will do that. That is a 6 currently, but it is plus teeth. So I have a 2 in teeth, and that is an 8.
Okay. Does anyone else in the pack want to spend pack pool to push that to a 10? Because everyone, well, we can push it up 3 times with the 3 of us, but or are we satisfied with an 8?
I'll go ahead and push it up.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Just, I think we can easily tell how Colt's helping with the narrative where he's pushing the deer forward. How is Garrett helping?
I just snarl at it. Just it freezes.
Okay. You get 2 choices from the Maulus, and remember that your teeth are doing 3 harm total, 2 harm normal, and you chose the +1 option. So,
I'll take. You deal +1 harm, so more harm. And I will take. Do not take -1 for it on your next given to the wolf move.
yeah. So I think Garrett snarls at it. It jumps towards Lincoln, and since this thing has no horns at the moment, you can just leap up and take it by the neck, drag it down, and I mean, there is some spasming, but within moments, this would be like the perfect nature show documentary to have been taken. And the pack can gather up with, I think, deferring to Aunt Gert, the alpha of this time, to go first, and everyone is gathered to get their fill as the hunt has gone successfully. I think everyone will earn 1 XP from this scene in their wolf track. If that, I think that gives 2 of us a level up.
Yeah, it gives me a level up.
Yeah, and I believe your level up choices are +1 to a stat, max stat 3, a move from your skin, or a move from another skin. And just to remind everyone, the howl moves are not applicable to be chosen. But as the pack eats, I think there is this low, loud, languid howl that's not too distant. And your ears perk up at this, as this is not a challenge, this is not fear, but this is a brag, letting you know that they're here. They smell the blood on the wind as well. What does this do to you? As it feels so close, like something is spying on you.
I want to harness the wolf.
Go ahead, Garrett.
And I'm going to go ahead and take a +1 on heart for my advance.
Okay.
So that kicks that up to 2. Clear my experience track. And roll. That is another 11. And so it's 13 with the +1 heart.
I believe that gives you 3 questions to ask.
Okay. Where does the pack need to be?
Are you trying to find this howler or trying to get away from them? I suppose. Because your pack needs to be towards the I think it's known as the Shiner's Hill, where moonshiners had hollowed it out, a small cave inside, and used to do drop-offs.
Okay. What does this wolf really want?
Understanding and belonging.
Okay. What smells wrong?
The scent of oil through impotence is moving towards the howl as well.
All right. I quickly communicate this to the rest of the pack. And just because, well, I'm feeling a little headstrong tonight, I'm just going to go loping off.
Ooh. Yeah, what do you do? I think, what do you do, Colt? This is very brash for an old wolf, and young wolves seem to be brash too.
I will kind of cock a head towards I've forgotten Gert, but yeah, Colt's ears have clearly sort of perked up, and he's sort of looking towards where Garrett's going as well, and he's kind of got that almost like pointer sort of body language going on.
I think Gert will motion for you to follow after Garrett. And I think she motions for Lincoln and Ichi and Jesse to go in a different direction. She will return the howl back. As she sends, I think, Lincoln and Ichi especially to more towards the direction of the humans than the one who howled. So yeah, the pack is. I think this has been a bit of a time skip. Everyone in the pack had time to eat their fill from the prey. The hunt itself is over, but there is a new hunt, a more intriguing one as we move further in. And also, I think that Colt, with that description of the pointer language, you played to the playful aspect of your heartbeat, so take a wolf XP if you would like. But yeah, I think the first thing we're going to show is Lincoln. I think you notice that Jessie is getting wild in her body language, just hackles raised. She's like, her teeth are exposed, but she's not snarling, but just sort of like breathe, like the cats who breathe over their lips. She's panting, but you know that this run couldn't have tired her out. She's showing signs of not like rabidness, but
Bloodlust or
yeah.
I think I am probably like a larger wolf. I think I'm going to like physically push myself into her side and like nudge her with my muzzle.
Mm-hmm.
and just be like pushing hers down, sort of.
Do you think you're trying to dominate her?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really
Because I think she jumps back at that and will like look at you. That's when like the low growl begins to start.
okay.
Her muscles tense towards a running stance.
So I will roll dominate, which is teeth. That is a 9 plus 2 is 11.
So she does it. What do you want her to just calm down? I think is the.
I think so, and like calmly go with me and Ichi.
Stay in the pack. Don't split off. Yeah. I think her teeth clack shut. But there's like that, and I think that you can hear like some birds, some owls like moving in the trees, and one launches off into the air. But she calms down, chuffs, and moves forward as Ichi sort of bumps into you with a graceful, good job rub. But you get to the edge of this clearing, and I think you see 5 people. You can smell the scent of I will just the scent of a woman, a scent of a man, scent of I think the wolves can smell gender as the modern day complex. Like there is like 2 females and 3 males in this group.
Do any of them smell familiar? Do I need to harness the wolf to know this?
I think the one that smells the most familiar is Imram. The others you don't like. The others are just like a mishmash of that, like frustration and anger right now. Like they're too close together, and humans smell too strong to pick them out individually.
I look at Ichi, and then I kind of like jerk my head and try to signal wolfishly that maybe we should surround them.
Okay. He will do, and I think you guys start circling around, and you can definitely harness the wolf to ask more in-depth questions about these humans as you circle around them.
I will do that. It's a 9 again. Plus, what is it?
I think plus 0 for you with heart.
Oh, yeah. It's 9.
So you get to ask 1.
Let's see. What is the biggest threat to the pack?
The biggest threat to the pack is the traps that have been set in the woods. As you see one of the military men set down like this, I think like a small explosive kind of, like a small foot trap that like is a snare with spikes to hold things. Yeah. But I think you know that Garrett, Colt, and Gert are running directly towards those if you want to howl out and warn them. But you are close to these people. You have to act on instinct, not give your location away.
I think that I don't really know the best way to communicate as a wolf, but like I like kind of my ears perk up and like start when I see the trap and like scramble backwards. And I will try to.
You taking +1 forward to acting immediately on the information.
All right. It's a 7 plus. Girl is 9 plus 1 is 10.
Woo! So you do. I think you do it in such a way that if you don't mind me taking a bit of the narrative, I think like what the flair of this is, you startle the guy setting the trap so it snaps shut on his fingers.
Nice.
And the other people start gathering. One of them bends down to help the guy. The others looking around, pulling out their guns, sidearms. Imram's the only one with like a big serviceful rifle on him. And they're all like looking around, pointing them, and you can almost hear like, "Do you think it's found us again after what it did to Samson?" Yeah, but yeah, I think like with that we follow that howl like on the wind to Garrett, Colt, and Gert as y'all are running towards the Moonshiner's Hill. You now know that there are traps in the woods set for wolves. How do you? Are you still going to proceed without caution? Or are you going to slow down and pick your way through?
Well, I'm wise and experienced. Now that I'm aware that there's traps, I'm going to slow down and I'm going to watch for things.
Yeah, so I think if you let me check the moves again.
Is this act on instinct or harness the wolf, do you think?
I think you've already harnessed. I think this is just a narrative going slow and
Okay.
And like this is a good time to like maybe like show if like Colt would like to maybe activate one of your skin move of yours, wise counsel, like in the wolf form, like what to do, or the young Paolo and Colt could probably more easily get close to the traps and trigger them and not get caught due to their youth and vigor compared to Garrett and Gert. Or you could just be training them to that going slow and steady as quite well. So I mean, or things you guys think of.
Colt, what do you say? You want to try to disarm some traps?
Yeah, sure thing.
All right. Well, the first thing you need to do, we're out here in the wilderness. Anything that smells like metal, it's either human or it's a trap. So you got to watch out for that stuff. Might be a bouncing Betty, might be some kind of bear trap they dragged out here, might be some kind of fox trap that they tried to jerry-rig and turn into something they can use to trap us. But if it smells like metal, watch for it. Smell that metal over there?
Yep.
Why don't you go figure out what it is? Take a look at it. Tell me what you see.
Sure. And yeah, I think Colt will pad over to the to where he can smell the metal coming from and sort of start sniffing around in the brush.
Okay, so you can act on instinct to start. I'll just say like one act on instinct to disarm all the traps with you and Paolo, taking +1 forward from Garrett's advice.
Sounds good.
Garrett, take +1 tie on Colt.
That's a 7.
Okay.
That is feral, isn't it? Act on instinct.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
So I think you can do it, but you escalate the situation. Let's see. Oh, right. I need to add 2 to the pack pool from the other act on instincts. Okay, yeah. I think you... this is like you and Paolo make a game of this, almost like lurching around through these traps, seeing who can get close enough. I think like, there's like little tufts of fur left in these traps, but that's what's not under your control. You've left signs of the wolves that have sprung these traps and not gotten caught, so they know it's not like a rabbit that did it or anything like that.
Sure thing. Cool.
And you guys, you all four of you make it to the hill, and you see like Gert's a big wolf. Lincoln's a bigger wolf. Acalia's a chonky wolf. This one looks like if there was a Game of Thrones dire wolf, it could probably play it without CGI.
So this is like the professional wrestler of wolves.
Yeah. This is Andre the Giant as portrayed by a albino wolf with a scar over one eye. And I think, Garrett, if you'd like, you may know lore about wolves of this size. If you'd want to exposit why he is so much bigger in this form than the rest of you all are.
I thought it was only legend. I mean, I'd never seen one, I'd never met anyone who'd actually seen one. But all wolves came from somewhere. And I'd heard tell from my grandmother, my great-grandmother, about the stories of a wolf in the American West back in the 1800s that looked like this. It was an albino. It's a scar over one eye with that kind of milkiness and a dead eye. But I thought that's all they ever were. I mean, I thought it was just basically wolf ghost stories for a young cub growing up in England. And yet here this wolf is. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 years old, if not older.
Yeah, I think it it looks down like it is albino, one of the eyes like pure gossamer red, the other is like this milky pink. And I think there's like almost a low chuff chortle, like if wolves could laugh. And it I think there's like a moment where it's looking in all of your guys' eyes and you're transfixed for a moment and you don't really remember when it got to the bottom of the hill. But it's coming closer towards the pack. What do you do?
I think I step forward in front of Aunt Gert in like a protective stance and like growl gently, like a warning growl.
Yeah, and I think this is almost like your growl gets caught in this thing's throat and it returns it threefold.
Lincoln.
Yep.
Take it from an old wolf. If this thing wanted to hurt us, we'd already be dead.
It's on our land.
Well, if the stories that I've heard are true, we're kind of on its land. This is one of the old ones, and they roam wherever they want and live wherever they please. And other packs exist at their whim.
Why hasn't it shown itself before then?
Because it doesn't have to.
I think Lincoln just like paws the ground kind of impatiently, like still don't trust it.
Lincoln?
Yeah.
This is a force of nature here, like a tornado.
And I think at that, Colt is going to like scamper forwards towards it, and he's kind of going to run up and start sniffing the wolf, maybe licking its mane a bit, and going, "Friend."
I think there's like this huge paw like goes up almost in a salute and then slams down on Colt, just pinning him to the ground. The wolf like bends down, sniff, sniff, sniff. And there's one huge long lick, and it looks and it lets Colt up and looks up. At least one of you had the guts.
And yeah. I think Colt will just nuzzle against it and say, will you run with us? Will you would you like to spend some time with us? And I think I'm going to take my new move out for a spin, as I have I've just taken heartstrings, which lets me. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, no. That's technically it's a pack mate. So I can't do that. But yeah, I will continue. So
I think you are. I don't. Let me check the basic moves. I think you are. It's not a pack mate, so you can't provoke spill. Yeah, I think you. I think we don't need to have move for this narrative thing. So it's just, I think the wolf like bends back and howls this like howl of sort of like friendship, acceptance, and joy at being asked to run with y'all. And we'll have like this sort of She-Ra ending credits moment of like, the moon in the air, like all the wolves just running at as a pack, pack tactics of everyone just playing around, having a good time, letting the wolf loose, jumping around. But I think at the very end, we will end up with back at the place where everyone had like laid their clothes, where they transformed, and you guys can start transforming back to human if you would like.
I'd actually like to. I think as we're kind of heading back that way, I'm going to start kind of nipping at Lincoln's heels a bit in a playful way, but I kind of do that thing of kind of nipping at his heels and then running off a bit and then coming back. I'm basically going to goad him into chasing me.
Sounds like you're using your playful move to provoke spill.
Indeed.
What is this? I think Lincoln, I don't know, is like, I think he's kind of annoyed at first because like there are multiple threats and he's like thinking about all the threats because that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to protect the pack. So even in the midst of all the like pack bonding, he's like, oh, I have to be aware of that threat and that threat, and he still thinks of the wolf as a threat. But what was your move? What does that do?
It's basically a variant on provoke spell.
Okay.
But yeah.
If he acts like a thirsty himbo towards you, you can provoke with a different stat.
I see.
It's probably my favorite cub move.
Is there a question I have to answer?
Well, he needs to roll first.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's an 11. So
yeah, it is just a provoke spell move from the basic moves. You get to choose which subject you're going to end up spilling about with this show of childish glee and affection.
Yeah. And so I think the way this looks, I think I maybe managed to. I think as we've run a little bit away from the rest of the pack, I think that Colt is going to start kind of nuzzling up against Lincoln. And, I mean, his intentions here are very much, are very much out in the open. And I am going to ask you to spill about. I
think the person isn't the person who
with my move, I get to choose which one they have to answer on.
Oh
so,
no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
So I am going to get you to spill about your desire for a pack mate.
Oh. Wait, does it have to be a current pack mate? Can it be like, a certain banished pack mate, or
that certainly is fine by me.
Because I think it's like, I don't know if Lincoln's like misreading the nuzzling somehow, but he's just like batting at Colt's head of the paw, and I think if just using words, because what is wolfing? I think you might just get the like Lincoln like looks towards the lone wolf, the albino, and kind of just like whines and like tries to push you away, and just is like still thinking about Mateo and like how Mateo is now alone, and just like the sound that wolf made when you invited him to run with us. Like, is that something that Mateo is going to then at some point with some other pack like have that joy at being like called back as part of a pack? So whatever that's like in a wolf form, I think Lincoln still wants Mateo. I don't know if there's anyone that would be able to replace that for him. But I think that's just, he gets that out somehow.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's great. And so essentially, and then in return, it acts as if you had used the provoke spill move on me as well and got a 7 to 9, which I think all that means is that I can, if I wish, choose to not be fully forthcoming with the truth, and I don't give us a pack pool for that. However, I'm not going to be, and you definitely get that completely unvarnished that Colt is kind of into you, and is totally up for whatever. But yeah. I don't think it's particularly complex or deep one, that. But
no.
Yeah.
I think, like, I was imagining that they were like sort of tussling at this point, and I think Lincoln just like, thing that might be misconstrued, like gently bites on Colt's ear, and just like he's like the older wolf, and also I think the older human, so he's been like, he feels like he's lived through more. I don't know if it's like a dominate thing that he's trying to do, but he's trying to be like just like an almost like an older brotherly put down.
If you want to roll dominate, that's cool. I don't know if you
I don't know
if you need to.
I don't think you need to just like, just say this feels like just like a Nancy Reagan thing of oh cute, but no, I'm just saying no.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that is a wonderful scene. You two take one experience in the wolf track if you would like.
And I think we both add a pack to the pool as well.
Yeah. I have added that. We are at 12. We can overwhelm them if we want.
Awesome.
So yeah, Garrett, is there something you want to do before we return to the place of transformation?
Do I take an XP for the thing with the traps?
No,
Playing into
you
the
gain
heartbeats?
you gain. Oh yeah, getting into your heartbeat. Yeah, take a XP totally.
Okay, and there's 2 per scene, correct?
Uh, you can get one. I would say that is a different scene. You can get one in your human track, one in your wolf track per scene. But yeah,
Okay.
you can have one in your human and one in your wolf, because that would have been the same scene you would have gotten for expositing.
Okay. I think I'm just watching like Lincoln and Colt roll around and tussle and kind of grinning. You know, the pack's can be in good hands no matter what. And then did the old one come back with us?
Oh yes, I think the old one is also going to be transforming into a human form.
You know, it wasn't about guts. It was about respect.
You're saying this to the old one?
Mm-hmm.
And I think like there's this like shake of like this like I think this you can feel the coat against you as it shakes. It is long, shaggy, and feels almost like ropes hitting you with just like the thickness of it. Like, yes, but most either attack or run away. Few have history with that they've even heard of these legends. Most think I'm just some kind of angry spirit at best.
Well, I inherited this, as near as I can tell, from my great-grandmother. She was out in the American West, out in the Sierras, and had something happen to her out there. And she told my grandmother stories about how she came to be in, well, England. And she always told stories about this big white wolf. Said you had 2 eyes, though. That was, God, that would have been in 1860s.
There's a difference in the fact that your mother was born amongst the humans, correct?
My mother was and my grandmother was. Great-grandmother, she was attacked.
Yes, I was born into this as well, but unlike the rest of you, I was born wolf first. It's rarer than the human ones, especially now that our numbers are so small and that the bloodline has grown so thin. But when you were a wolf first, it's easier to keep control when you go. I think your people call them feral.
Yeah. That's a word for it.
So we get to live longer. Like the vampires sometimes say, life's a bitch.
I always thought they said life sucks.
Those are the ones that think they're clever, at least. And I think, there's humor in his eyes as he's talking. You're getting this across. But yeah, the clearing, when he changes back, I think he is like this. He is very short for a human male, especially like if you've been born back. It makes sense if you're born back in the 1800s. But he is. He looks mestizo, I believe is the way. Mexican and native mixed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's around he's 5'4", but he'd say 5'6" just to save some pride. And but in his human form as well, he is also I think with vitiligo, just lots of splotches of of skin, missing pigment, but as the scar, you can see more scars from like that. If he had a darker coat, they might have turned up white on his body, but since he's albino, you can't see through it. But like, he looks like he has definitely been through a rough couple of centuries.
You want some grub? Paula here makes some mean food.
Well, I don't want to put your town in any more worry than I have already. They're those people, and he motions towards like the I think sounds of the troops like going back to their camp after that sprung trap. They're after me.
You know, some of them came into our bar, thought they were heavyweights, made them piss themselves, threw them out the door. I don't like small men who think that because they have a gun, they can lord power over other people. So, you want some grub?
I really don't think that they should. It's more important that they don't know I exist. Most of the people at their rating of the military, at least, think that we're rumors. They don't know of the ones who've actually been captured. And I'm going to throw
certainly
something.
Fair.
I'm going to throw something out. Feel free to script change it if it changes the tone of the game too much. I think he will say something about, they're trying to get all of us. The pack of the old ones that roamed the USA. They split us up. They have 3 of us.
How many are left besides you?
That would be Miss O'Malley. She's out in California. And Mr. Jin. He's up in New Hampshire, last I heard. We're the last all-wolf pack. I have no idea what they wanted with the other ones they've captured.
You know where they're held?
No clue. If I did, I wouldn't be roaming the country hiding with my tail between my legs.
Well, you find out where they are, and you need another set of teeth to help spring them. You let me know.
I think he looks at Colt and Paolo, Lincoln, Ichi. Like, that's nice, but you guys have a good thing here. Got to protect your territory. We live a long time. We have patience to take it out on those who've been hunting us.
I'm just saying. I don't know how many more years I got on this ball of dirt, but it'd be nice if they meant something.
I think he chuckles and we'll do that I think he does this more wolfish thing of getting up in your face to in that friendly way that Colt did with him. If you ever feel like your days are numbered, and I think he looks into your eyes and you feel like this sort of instinct unlock of this howl that was buried deep inside. Give that one a ring. I can teach you the ropes. Everyone has to learn new things sometimes, even old dogs like us.
You got it.
Lincoln, how are you feeling about this small old one just all up on Garrett?
I think I've been watching in wolf form, not bothering to transform back yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as like he seems to be saying no to Garrett, or like they're having this conversation, I do transform back, and I just like stomp over and just like, why now? Why? You've been here forever. Why do you make yourself known now?
And he stops. I haven't been in this part of the town for a while. I roam most of the Southwest. It just happened to be around when the military showed up this time. Or brought him with me, I guess. I was hiding out.
You brought them here. I think Lincoln just like glares at him and like looks at Garrett, who's trying to invite him to stay. Like, you brought this trouble here? I think you need.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's like, I think you need to leave.
I'll leave when I know they'll follow me.
You're willing to lure them away?
Of course, this is your territory. It's not mine. It was wrong to stay as long as I have.
I think Lincoln is just like, yeah, it was wrong to stay as long as you have.
And you know from just the he's put your pack at risk by killing local farm animals. So like this is hella outside of werewolf etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking to like one of the elder werewolves. Do you want to cross the line?
Ooh, yes. Yeah. I think what Lincoln says is something to the effect of like, let me take you to them, then to make sure that they follow you, take you away.
Oh.
Something like that.
Yeah, let's
do something unacceptable, something shocking. When you make this move, you're declaring something to be beyond a line. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, who is disgusted with you basically saying, let me go put a target on your back?
Oh. Is it? It could be either, I feel. Like, I think Colt knows that I was earlier having, like, thoughts about how lone wolves must be lonely, and here I am throwing this person back to loneliness because I got a pack to protect. So maybe it's Colt.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Sudden change of feeling there.
I think Aunt Gert comes up and, here was a good choice. Aunt Gert is going to basically just tell Lincoln, this is not your place. Stand down and be subservient. Do you want to disobey or make a challenge against Aunt Gert's leadership?
I think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to disobey.
Because I think you'd just be a temporary alpha anyway. And you don't want to have to
deal with Acalia. Or do I?
Oh my.
But I think this is about like a small, well, not a small enough, it's the pack, but like this is one threat. There are others to be dealt with. So that's guts. Oh no. I have a -1 gut. That's a 7. -1 is 6.
Yeah, and okay, I think Aunt Gert, as you're I think Aunt Gert like gets up in like your grill and is like sort of pushing up against you, and there is like that, her ample chest against your strong pecs for a bit, and then there's just a sound of flesh on flesh as she uppercuts you into the gut. You bend over, she grabs your head and slams your face down on her knee, throws you down, and you see why she was the old alpha as you take 3 harm from this brutalizing in front of the elder. That's just the first line, 3 harm. And as she makes it known that what you're doing is not okay.
I look at Gert, smile, say, "You never lost it, girl."
Flattery will get you some places sometime. You can join me for a half and half lemonade tea next week if you'd like.
Can't say no to an offer like that. I know what your tea tastes like.
I think the elder is looking, the elder looks nonplussed at this. Like, he's probably seen much worse over these 300 years of life. And
I think, like, I just, like, wipe at the blood running from my nose, probably, and just, like, sort of sulkily retreat back towards Colt, wherever it is, and just, like, mutter something about, like, I swear that woman doesn't know what's best for this pack, like, under my breath.
I pull a flask out of my pocket and toss it to you.
I'm so good at catching. I definitely catch it. And just take a swig and then pass it to Colt.
Oh, and you suddenly are the expert all of a sudden, is that it? And he knocks back a slug, but he does so angrily, it's and I think he screws the lid back onto it and tosses it back over to Garrett.
And Lincoln's like, I mean, when it comes to pack safety, pack security, taking care of this pack and making sure nothing bad happens to it, I think that's my job. I think that's what Acalia wants me to do.
I think Jessie is getting close by, and she will has some moonshine. It's like, okay, Lincoln, look, you may be here to protect the pack, but maybe ask us if we need your protection sometime.
Lincoln looks at the moonshine in her hand and, like, arches an eyebrow, like,
you want to be disinfected, right?
I am a nurse. I think I can handle this on my own when I get home.
Well, fuck me for trying to help, I guess.
And he's just, like, very snappy at everyone.
Well, I guess you're going to have to handle everything on your own, isn't it? That's the way you seem to like it. And I think Colt's just going to wander off and hang out with someone else.
I think Jessie pokes the moonshine and her finger into Lincoln's chest. You fucking hurt my little cousin. I will tear you so many new ones. You won't know where to sit next time you're all up in your vapors, bitch.
I dominate her again.
Yes, you can. You have an
Okay.
automatic dominate you can use, but I don't know if you want to.
I feel like that didn't feel right to do that.
Yeah.
Everything is awful. That's a 5, and I have dominate is teeth. 6, 7.
Okay, let's I think that gives them an opportunity to disobey. But I don't think NPCs mostly under your control. Half-hearted. And what do you want to do, just to back off?
I think if she's getting in my face, I think I'm pulling myself to, like, my full 6, 1, 2, something height and, like, squaring my shoulders with, I just been punched, but whatever. This person's trying to threaten me.
Yeah, I think she just rolls her eyes and is like, "Oh, you're taller." Like you feel like this bump against your groin. You see, like she could have kneed you if she'd wanted to, and she just like takes a sip of the moonshine and walks away. Just.
And I think hopefully as soon as she's not facing him, Lincoln sort of deflates a little.
I think that's a good place to call it for the night. If anyone else, yeah, because I don't think the elder is going to come back with you. He's not going to go and turn himself in immediately either. But he is not going to put you in that much trouble. So yeah, we will. I think we'll take our first break now, if that's okay with everyone. Let's be back at 20 after the hour.
No,
Okay.
doing dice.
Does anyone want to set a scene the next day, or do we want to maybe do the cookout, or...
I believe I offered Miss Libby lunch.
Oh my. Give me a second. Yeah, we can definitely do that with... are you going to be at the bar with lunch?
I think in deference to everyone's good taste and delicate sensibilities, I'll just ask Paolo to cook her up something real nice as opposed to like laying back on the table and doing that sushi thing.
Oh, yeah, of course you knew that was hyperbole. But I think if you're at the bar, Paolo and Colt could definitely be there with a still morning Jax. Well, no, this is the morning, so Jax would not be up.
Nope. But Lincoln might be there, nursing a hangover, getting an early start on drinking.
Unless Lincoln can definitely show up there if he would like.
Or I could be there, either one. Should I show up in the middle of this lovely little date?
I'm not sure, especially with Colt having that move where you can show up if there is trouble. See, I think let's just say that Colt and Paolo are the ones there.
Yeah, sure thing.
So I think Paolo has made these wonderful tostadas, which, if I remember correctly, are these tortas. That's what I'm thinking of. Like these sandwiches with like a bean spread, then some ground beef, then some lettuce, then some onions, a fried egg, a bit more beef, and sour cream and guacamole on top with like fried style baguette bread for him, because this is a special important thing and you got to make her feel fancy, and French bread makes you feel fancy. But and Colt can bring these out. I think they have this pink candle that smells of strawberries like in the middle of this tray just to make it all special for Garrett and Miss Libby. And Paulo hands the tray over to Colt. Okay, now make it look good. I mean, you already look good, so this is going to be easy for you. Yeah. You can tell he's now feeling a bit awkward after saying that.
I'll do my best, Paolo, and he'll smile and head out, and I think he is doing the tray on one hand thing.
I'm going to lean over to Miss Libby and whisper, "How much you want to bet the kid drops it?"
He comes in and puts it down on the table and gives an ostentatious bow and says, "Sir, ma'am, I hope you enjoy a little something Paolo's whipped up for you here."
And Miss Libby just claps her hands, and especially at the candle. Oh, this feels so much fancier now.
Well, we all appreciate you helping us out the other day. Wanted to make sure that you got a good meal out of it.
And she looks at the sandwich like, is this that, like, fancier version of avocado toast I've been hearing about?
Oh, this ain't no avocado toast. You think Paolo would stoop to something that low?
I think if Colt looks behind him, we can see Paolo's head like sticking out of the kitchen, like gotta see if they like it.
Yeah, and he'll flash a quick thumbs up and say, "Well, enjoy your meals now, the both of you. If you need anything, I'll just be over there." And he's going to head back to the bar.
Yeah, and Miss Libby will look at Garrett. It's like, so you've been single a long time. Are you something of a Lothario? Let me check the character keeper, Mr. Heath.
Ma'am, I'm just so old and so set in my ways that I don't figure any woman with good sense would, well, I don't reckon they'd take too kindly to me being as set in my ways as I am.
Oh, you stop. You would be a perfect husband. I am sure of it. You don't look like you're one of those cheating types. Your eyes don't wander to those girls who are closer to college age and your granddaughter age than some of the other freaky fellows in town.
Well, I have the good sense to know that not only do I not have any business with women that age, they don't have any business with me. I'm not a teacher.
Yeah, I think she'll bring up the toast. And like she has that Texas, almost tiger shark way of like pulling her lips back so the sandwich won't smudge her lipstick when she takes a bite. Oh, this is heavenly.
Told you Paolo's a good cook. Trying to get enough money for him to open his own restaurant so he doesn't have to be, sitting in here in this bar with us anymore.
Do you need any investors?
Well, he sure might.
You see, my bridge club and I, well, we've been looking for a place to, ever since Sandy caught some of that dementia and showed off her knickknacks at at the club, we're not allowed back. But she's still a good gal and everything. We need a place to gather that has drinks and fine food. I'm sure some of us could definitely chip in.
So you need a place that's a little bit more tolerant and understanding of your dear friend's infirmities.
Of course, we can't kick her out of the bridge club. Then we couldn't play bridge. And she's a dear friend.
Well, and as you know, after that accident, Paolo, he understands such things. I'm sure he'd be most accommodating.
And she grins and takes another bite. And with food like this, well, we could stay and gab and play all day long. Just fill up that restaurant's black line.
Mm. You know what? I shake my head to Colt. Hey, Colt.
Yes, Mr. Heath, sir?
How many times have I told you not to call me that? I mean, I'm figuring it's got to be at least 270 by now.
Well, I was just trying to class up this establishment a little. I think that's when the bubble comes.
Can you call Paulo out of the kitchen? I think he and Miss Libby might have some business to discuss.
Sure thing. Paolo?
Yeah, and Paolo will come out and start talking with Miss Libby, but there is another... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that's seen unless you have something else you want to do with it.
Oh, no, because someone else has to come into the bar right now. A very eager and camping enthused Freddy, as this weekend is the first episode of the YouTube sensation Like It Watch. And I think he's coming in and he has this set of camo clothes in a Colt size, and he he's looking all embarrassed and kind of like just looking up way too intensely at that stupid neon sign that just says like Mo drinks, Mo problems, kind of like very cheesy neon lights. It's like, oh, hey, Colt, hi, we're still on for Saturday, right?
Oh yeah, sure thing, Freddy. That'll be it'll be swell. I'm looking forward to it.
Is it okay? I mean, my sister Treasure's going to be joining us. She's the camera woman and editor, and I said, oh, I couldn't do anything without her. But she doesn't want a bed with both of us, so we're going to have to share a tent.
Oh, I'm sure we can squeeze in together. That'll be fine.
And he blushes a bit, and he's like, I hope you like your sleeping bag, and I hope these will fit, right? I mean, these are your size, I think.
I'm sure they'll fit perfectly fine.
And I think he grins like, I think if everything goes well and we get enough views, the next like-in watch will be at San Antonio.
Oh, I've been meaning to get down to the city for a little while now, so that'd be cool if we can do that together.
You'd want to come on the second one too? I mean, yeah, that's cool. That's awesome.
I mean, we'll see how this goes, but hey, what's not to enjoy about spending the night out in the forest?
Yeah, it'll be great. I'll bring snacks. I mean, you have a favorite snack, right? I can or like food, like maybe beef jerky, turkey jerky, any kind of food would be cool, though. I mean, yeah.
Whatever you think best. I'm sure I can. I'm sure we can always scrounge something up out there.
Yeah, and I think Garrett, you are definitely able to pick up this conversation. How do you feel about Colt and his friendly Freddy snack?
I'm just grinning my ears off. I mean, because this may save me a drive to San Antonio, which, as much as I like Colt, as much as I appreciate him and want to make sure that he can get out and experience the wider world, maybe this is the wider world that he needs to experience. Maybe that's enough.
Yeah, seems nice, and I think
seems nice, seems harmless. If I find out he's related to Imran, I'm probably gonna have to kill everybody. But
oh no, he's not. Yeah, I think Freddy will he'll check probably twice, to make sure Colt has his correct number, which I think he does every time they meet, just to. And even after the texts have gone through and everything, but he is a cute little bundle of energy.
So whereabouts are you planning on doing this little exploration? By the way,
well, I thought we'd be near Shiner's Hill. That way we can, set up near the lee and be protected from the moonlight that night. I mean, it will be the perfect moon for werewolves. I mean, lichens.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, I'll come by and pick you up at around 5 p.m. and we'll head out to the woods. Yeah, the correct day, of course.
Sure thing. That sounds fine, Freddy. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I believe now that can be the scene, unless anyone else wants some.
When Freddy leaves, I want to walk over to Colt and say, Colt, You
Garrett?
can't do that. You got to get him away from there. You know exactly why.
Yeah, we're. I was either thinking I'd warn our friend off in advance, or maybe we'll get a little lost on our way out there.
You just make sure that that boy doesn't get word of our acquaintance. Doesn't see him, nothing like that. Otherwise, I don't see this going well for any of us.
Don't worry about it, Garrett. I'll be careful.
That's why I'm worried about it, Colt. And I just smile, ruffle your hair a little bit, say, Libby's taken care of. She's busy with Paolo. Why don't you take lunch? Maybe catch up to that boy and go get yourself a cup of coffee or something.
Sure thing, Garrett. I'll catch you around later.
And that is a good scene. Both of you can mark XP in the human track if you would like. And Lincoln, what are you up to at this? Are you stalking the Imram and his people? Are you? Oh, okay.
I think that's what Lincoln lets do. Kind of like hang around whatever their office is. Definitely, obviously loitering.
Yeah, and I think eventually, like you will be looking in one direction. Imran will come in the other direction, of course, at that side, and have a first aid kit with them. Like, if you were going to be so obvious, you might have at least cleaned up first.
Lincoln's just gonna shrug and be like, it's just a few scratches, nothing serious. I've had more.
Well, as much as your people like to get into bar fights, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Have you come to maybe put your skills to good use by joining us?
No, I'm just keeping an eye. I mean, have you had any success finding good people?
We've found a few good people, I believe. I mean, they're from your town. I would hope you would have some faith in them.
Yes, but are they your type of people? Was be the other question.
Oh, most definitely. We wouldn't, well, I wouldn't have allowed them in otherwise. And he like motions towards the office of like the guy who stays here 24/7 and gets like 2 recruits a year. Like, unlike him, I don't have expectations to the ceiling and charisma of a brick.
Lincoln probably chuckles at that because I forgot his name, but probably not the most well-liked person in town. And he goes, so what exactly are you looking for except for candidates with a little bit of love of violence, maybe getting things messy? Just anyone?
People who aren't into the whole PETA scene, basically.
Yeah, you're in Texas. It's not going to be very many of us here.
Oh, it's been wonderful, but people who need to do what we're here to do sometimes are few and far between. And you can tell he's having too much fun talking in this vagueness. This feels very much like MIB talk.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to harness the wolf while I'm talking to him and try and hear what else is happening around us.
Oh, feel free.
Let's see how this goes. 10 without, and I have no heart, so yeah, that's a 10.
3 questions.
What smells wrong here?
I think you get the smell of satisfaction and your pack. You know they've the hair they collected, I think you know about now.
Hmm. Okay. And then I think knowing about the fact about the hair, I kind of want to like claim that evidence back. And I'm trying to figure out if I can ask a question that will help me here, or if I can say, where is my prey? And say that the hair is my prey.
You can.
Okay.
And that would be inside the camp proper, like where like the soldiers are, like not this recruiting. I think it's like they set up near the recruiting station, but you'd have to get past the guards and everything and into there.
Okay. All right. And I think is the strongest emotion satisfaction?
It's not satisfaction as much as it is progress. Like they're getting somewhere instead of just like coming up empty and losing a man.
I think I want to like kind of like as he's been talking to me, I've been trying to smell, like I've caught that smell. And I think just the knowledge that he has that hold on us makes me like snarl a little.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I want to, sorry, I'm like trying to figure out what I want to do. Yeah, I kind of just want to like push him against the wall. I just feel like, look, I know you've been snooping around the castle. And I know, or your men have been at the castle. There are people I care about there. I don't want your kind there anymore. And is that dominate or maul?
He's not a pack mate, I don't think, but he is an NPC, so you can dominate him, I think.
Or do I just want to like slap him around a little? I'm gonna dominate. That seems like what I'm trying to do. I'm trying just to like intimidate him a little bit. So, oh crap, I missed. No, like I forgot to hit both.
Oh.
Should I just re-roll the one that I didn't actually?
Yeah, just re-roll the one.
Oh, great. Anyway, what's my T? 2? That's a 6. Can I use... So I took the move Lone Wolf. So I can spend points in the pack pool even when I'm acting on my own? Is this a situation where I can use that?
Let me read. I think it is, but let me...
Okay.
Yes, you can use it right now.
So I can bump that to not a fail, to a 7.
Oh, darn. And I think he doesn't show fear, But he is pushed against the wall, and he smiles. Oh, I think I see what he saw in you now.
Who? Who saw what?
Oh, the person who told us about this town. I think his name was, and he does that cinematic,
I shake him.
and he spasms it, Mateo.
I punch him.
And like, I think I won't make you roll.
Okay.
You're not rolling to maul him.
No, it's like a reactive lash out punch.
Yeah, and like reactive and non like you're not doing this in a trained fashion, so that they'll just be the zero harm of it lashing out blindly. And he goes down and he grins, but I think you see this understanding on his face. Fine, we won't be by the castle. We'll be keeping an eye on you, though. Maybe some of the others. I do so like wrestling, after all.
I think, like, Lincoln's shaking from, like, rage and just, like, the surprise. He just, like, turns on his heel and, like, walks really fast away. He's not great at using words, so he's not going to try to get the last word in, but he's just going to, like, bolt out of there.
Yeah, and does anyone else have a scene they want to set now? Or should I hard frame us somewhere?
I think hard framing is probably a good idea, especially after something that went that badly.
Yeah, I think this is in Ichi's house, which is like this very suburban, like Aunt Gert has like the suburban white fence place. This is like the manscaped suburban thing, manicured lawn, big house, big muscle car outside, tool shed in the back, work shed beside the tool shed kind of thing. And inside there's just wrestling paraphernalia everywhere, like Matilda the Hun's championship belt from Glow, one of the Undertaker's original hats, just all sorts of different things he's gotten from everywhere. And I think most of you are gathered up with Lincoln. Have you sought medical attention for Aunt Gert's assault on you?
Did I just say that I gave myself some medical attention? I'm a nurse.
You can do it yourself. It's sort of like, I think this is like Monster Hearts, where if you let someone else do it, it's more potent, is why.
Fine, I'll let someone else do it. Who wants to volunteer?
I'm pretty sure I actually have a move that allows me to do that.
Yes, that is also one of the other things I wanted to.
Actually, I don't think I took that one yet.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
Oh well, I think Lincoln's gonna like.
Point being, I could probably help you out.
Yeah, I'll say like by you're helping yourself out, you can have healed like one tick of harm.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're still bruised and battered, but not horribly maimed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Jesse is sitting down drinking tea and not looking happy that this is not mixed with anything.
It's not a Long Island tea.
No, it is I think Ichi has like an actual like tea set out. He is kneeling before making the tea from scratch for everyone. Like everyone's cup is made specifically to their tastes in like a little pot, and so everyone has like different strengths and everything like that. And while it's good tea, it's not getting her drunk, so she's making do. And I think Ichi hands the tea over to Lincoln. It's like, and you said you had information.
Lincoln just like. Usually, I think Lincoln drinks the tea slowly, but I think he's still like riled up, and he just like takes it like a shot and it might burn, but whatever. Just as like, and he's like sprawled, kind of like not sitting properly at all. And he's like, yeah, they know we were at the hunt. Some fur got left behind. And I don't know, like, I think it was just like the whole pack spurred that I smelled. I don't know if I could.
No, you can tell it's Paolo and Colt's.
Oh, okay. And I just side-eye Colt then when I say that. And they know there's something special about this town.
I mean, besides how goddamn delicious Ichi's tea is? I mean, Ichi, this is something else. You really outdid yourself this time.
No, I do the same amount of amazing that I always do. It's a bar that I can continually reach.
Lincoln's like, yeah, I think they know something. I think they're putting things together. The fur, the way they talked to Colt first at the wrestling thing.
So what are we supposed to do? Just, take on the whole U.S. Army?
Not the whole U.S. Army.
Take out. I
Just
don't.
camp. I mean,
If only we had 12 pack. If only someone would spill about something, like their ex-lover maybe having told about the town.
Someone's
and give
gonna
us
have
that
to provoke that.
Yeah.
gee, at this point, because I'm enjoying my tea, and I saw Lincoln just shoot it. I feel like Lincoln is not saying what Lincoln really needs to say, so yeah, I'll roll provoke. Gets me to a 7.
Oh my. So yeah, let's see. Oh. Okay, you have to spill Lincoln, but you get to choose about what you can spill about. But before Garrett has to choose from the list of 2 choices.
Oh, hell. Well, I guess I'll just have to spill as if they rolled a 10 plus.
Ooh. So yeah, Lincoln, what do you spill about?
And I get to pick what I spill about?
Yes.
Okay. All of these are connected. I think Lincoln just like lets his head roll back, and I think I just say, I can't believe that anyone would give any information away so lightly to people they might have loved. Like, I think, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say like what I'm angry about. And I think what Lincoln's trying to say is that I can't believe that Mateo would betray him, but without saying Mateo's name, I just can't put words together properly.
I think like something like, I can't believe he would do this to me.
Yeah.
I think Aunt Gert picks up immediately who you're talking about, and she just sniffs, takes a sip of her tea. I can. Matty was always a selfish little cub.
Gert, now's not the time.
Then when is it? When his actions don't harm us?
I just mean now's not the time to be catty about such things. You don't have to twist the knife. It's already in there.
I think Lincoln just like really forcibly sets the teacup down, somehow like managing not to shatter it, and just like closes his eyes and tries to ignore everyone.
And I think Jesse pipes up like, it ain't Lincoln's fault. I mean, it's not like Lincoln wanted Maddie to leave, Gert.
Jesse, mind your tongue now. You've got a pack problem to solve. Splitting the pack ain't going to help.
So, but what do you spill about, Garrett?
If y'all want to blame anybody, blame me, because I was the one who suggested that Colt and Mateo go disarm those traps, because they need experience doing that so they can live as wolves.
Colt and Paolo, yeah. Ooh. I think Paolo pipes up like, well, we got to do something. I mean, if we all work together, we could at least scare them. They think they're just looking for one wolf. If we all like fuck up the camp some, maybe they'll get overwhelmed, leave.
Lincoln, I think, is just like pipes up with his eyes still closed and is like, what about your friend, Garrett, the old one?
I don't know as I'd call him a friend, but I can reach out and talk to him, certainly.
He said he'd leave if he was sure they'd follow.
Well, this might be one of those things where we all need to go in, wreck the camp together, and then we all leave, head in one direction, and we gradually peel off when we hit the river. He goes forward, leaving a clear track for him to follow, trails off after a day or so, we all come back here.
I think Gert says, I'm going to call Kaylee and see what she says. We'll have an answer soon. I think like that with that tension in the air is when Colt gets a text that just says, looking forward to Friday from Fred. And I think there's no, I'm not going to do that yet. There's no hard moves. There's no point in having Treasure being mean. I think Treasure's happy for the two of you. So yeah, we are at the point for our second break. How about we take that and come back at 5 after the hour?
All right. See you in a bit.
Welcome back, everyone. There is a weird horror story in the chat about RPGs and stuff, but I think that
So I'm going to roll to provoke spill on Ferret. Tell us how to defeat you.
Probably through bribes of delivery food.
Will creme brulee and espresso suffice?
Okay, the military just picks up and leaves. The militia suddenly is bored of everything. Wolves come back into vogue as the Green Movement just picks up steam everywhere. Texas becomes the LGBTQ plus capital of America. Mateo comes back. Woo!
Does Colt get Freddy?
Of course. Like, who do you think's leading this LGBTQ plus mecca? As king and king. Yeah, so I believe that pack scene is done as I think Garrett, not Lincoln, since his interactions with Imram have sort of soured this spy mission. But Garrett, Ichi, and I think Garrett, Ichi, and Jesse are sent to go talk with the tattoo artist that we have yet to see, and see what information he may have. I think we've all stated that he's eccentric and lives in the woods somewhere. Because I haven't added any. I'm just remembering from session 0.
Yeah, this guy does stick and poke work. He's off the grid. He doesn't even have power in his little shack.
Yeah, definitely a more active claim the wild type of person than the movie present. But so you guys are all I think heading to his shack, and you guys know the like mystical traps he has around his place. That if you're not of the pack, you'll get lost in the woods, run around in circles until you finally give up or find something more interesting that takes your time for a long time. But Garrett, you get to the shack, and I think you see this big, fat, chubby cat just sunbathing on the porch to the cabin, who looks up at you, sniffs, then rolls over so its belly is not showing anymore.
Seriously, Walter? How long have you known me? You're going to do that?
The cat stretches but does not get up.
Fine. Give it some scritches behind the ears.
And from inside, I think you can hear the sound of this person creating his own needles for the tattoo work.
Jake, you in there?
Kissa is his name.
Oh, Kissy. I just bang on the door. Loud enough that he knows it's me, not so loud to be a jackass.
I think there's some stopping, and he will come answer the door. Inside, it looks like a very classy, low-class cabin. You know, like the meat is curing. There aren't many stains on the floor. The furs are seemingly in alignment today. The wood is ready for the fire for the night. He'll cock his head. We didn't have a planned meeting. What's this about?
Social call. Yeah. Got ourselves a little bit of a problem and wondered if you might know anything about it.
Well, what I know is up for all of you, so come on in and let's discuss. You're all fine with pheasant, right?
I'm not fine with it. Why? Get a couple?
Yeah, the traps have been good.
Nice.
And you'll present pheasant without class and without buckshot because he hunts very cleanly.
So, we got ourselves some soldiers here in town.
I think Jesse bites into the leg of one of the quails, and not those kind of "Where's my hero" song soldiers either. Real grade A jackass. And Kissa will look at Garrett and sort of like he's supposed to understand I need a hero as a reference.
She's off on her emo shit again. Some band covered it, and she thinks she knows something about Bonnie Tyler. Listen, they seem to know more than normal about werewolves.
He sighs and looks around like they ain't mentioned nothing about some kind of secret. No, of course they wouldn't mention none of that. That's what they keep close to their chest. No, that can't be right. There ain't no There's no old one around, so they can't be about that lifestyle.
You ain't been out much lately, Kiss, have you?
Just checking the traps.
Yeah, there is an old one around.
Oh. Oh! Oh, shit. And I think he goes up and gets this leather-bound book and comes back and starts opening it up, and there's just like old sepia-toned pictures of, his father and his grandmother before him, all of the people who like lived around and done these work with werewolves. But I think like there are like medals, but like a medal you've never seen in like the American war conglomerate, like, or like the ones that are handed. It's this like gunmetal gray and silver metal with a silver wolf paw in the middle. And he's like, well, there's rumors that my great 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 aunt talked about that one of the members of her pack ran into one of the wolfborn, these werewolves that are born natural but born out of wolves instead of humans.
Yeah.
And that the government at the time was pushing west to try and cut out their territory, find them. Found a way that with the wolf-born ones, they're stronger, more tied, and found a way to turn supposedly without having to be bitten. Just enough that are loyal to the country to have your own dog soldiers. Turning wolves into mutts. It's sickening.
All right. So what is this method?
It ain't pretty. That's why wolves have been on the decline. I think he starts like describing this. He'll describe what he will call the and again, I think for like lack of a gore, since it is kind of gory, sort of veiling description of is the ritual of the hide exchange.
That doesn't sound pretty.
Nope. Take one wolf, take the skin, and mystically apply it to the guy you want to be your mutt. You got yourself a dog soldier. Loyal dude who can do stuff that a werewolf that wants to do, but without the wildness of the werewolf. But without that wildness, you need orders.
So what happens if the person ordering those dog soldiers, well, just so happens to turn up dead?
Then they turn to the top-rated one. They go down the chain. You'd have to take out the entire government to make sure they don't have no one to listen to.
So how do we undo it?
Well, it would have taken one of the old ones to even survive this process. You can take the dog out of the man, but you can't re-wolf the wolf.
So they need an old one, huh?
An old one would give them an endless supply. Well, until they finally gave out.
Shit. You ever dealt with this before?
I haven't, but my grandma said that she did. And the dog soldiers, they ain't they ain't too partial on silver. I know with you werewolves, it's hit or miss, but yeah. I mean, and he like looks at the metal he has. I could melt this down to like 2 bullets, but
Yeah, that ain't going to be enough.
I think Ichi chimes up like, doesn't Miss Libby and her bridge club have silver cutlery they don't use anymore? Garrett.
Might could be. We could talk them into donating their tea sets.
And we can definitely find someone to melt it down. Just how do we do this without alerting the entire town? I think Jesse is sulking and mumbling about knowing who Bonnie Taylor is.
Jesse, please. It's Bonnie Tyler. Total eclipse of the heart. Goddamn kids.
Yes, and she's like, fine, then I ain't helping with this at all. Not like I have some cousin out in the boonies who knows how to make pewter shit. Pewter ain't that different from silver. Just melt it down, sculpt it into something. Bullets is easy with my family. But no, you want to insult Jessie. Don't ask Jessie for her help.
Jesse, that's because I know you're just too goddamn effective. If I give it to you to do, you're not going to leave anything for poor Colt to do. You're just too goddamn good, Jesse.
Stuffed up your ass. I don't need the smoke.
Jesse, please. If I was going to try to blow smoke up your ass, there'd be a water pipe here.
I think Kissei cocks his head and it's like, if you have ways to do it, just work with it. But this isn't looking good.
Whatever does. Right, another day for cheerfulness and sunshine. Thanks, Kissei.
Yeah. I want to see Colt in the recruitment center to pick up some information spy-wise. And I don't think you're at Eamram's office. That would be too much like tempting an evil daddy. This is with the loud and brash town recruiter. And I think if we gave a name, I don't remember it, I'm going to name him Steve Carter. And he's just he looks like Carl Winslow from Family Matters does today. And maybe a bit like a rougher life, but he's behind the desk. I think he's like stress eating donuts from the off-brand Krispy Kreme in town. And I don't even think I think the bell on his on his office door has fallen off. And he doesn't even. He's just like, there's like this donut that is gone in 2 bites when Colt enters the room, and Sergeant Carter is not even looking up. I guess Lieutenant Carter is more correct.
Well, hi there, sir. I was wondering if I could ask a few questions about this whole army business.
He jolts up in surprise, swallows the donut, like opens a drawer, pushes the box of donuts, and so he doesn't show that he's gotten the 2 dozen versus the 1 dozen today. And he just, yes, of course. Now that foul don't ask, don't tell policy is gone, people like you can serve their country greatly. Come in.
Why, thank you. I was, yeah, I met your colleague the other day. Oh, what's his name now?
It's Devatma.
Oh, I was leaving that
Oh,
for him to. Yeah.
I think he just colleague. Mr. Oh, I'm in charge. Come in and change everything up, and we don't need your help. Your record shows what you're good for. Yes. But he got you interested enough to come see me, I suppose. And his aura is now completely shut down.
Yeah, I wondered. So, is there some sort of how does this work? I mean, is he in charge here now then, or is it still your operation?
While he's in town, he holds the reins, and I can just recruit for him.
I see. So, that's fine, I suppose. So, how do I? Can I schedule a meeting with him through you? Then is that how it works?
No. You can join the army, then you can meet him. And he starts like pulling out a one like those two difficult contracts to give to someone that is going to join the army.
Oh, thanks. I'll take a look at that. And um, I'll take the forms off of him and start, scanning over them. And uh, what brings him into town anyway?
Classified. That's what
Oh,
he
that
told me.
well, that is exciting. Um, I didn't realize there was. Um, I didn't realize there was a base around here or something. Are they or just staying at the Holiday Inn or something?
No, they've set up a base all of their own, just nearby.
Oh well, that must be fun. I suppose I do quite like going out for hikes and camping in the forest and such.
I wouldn't be going on any camping excursions. It seems that we have a wolf problem of some kind that maybe they're here looking into, though I don't see why the government would be looking into wolves this year.
I know. I mean, that sounds more like I don't know, national parks or something like that. You'd think, wouldn't you?
And I think at this moment, that's when a brick goes through the recruiter's window, and there is a note tied to it. But I think Carter like falls out of his seat in surprise. Colt, you have the opportunity to read this note before he gets up, if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll wander over and pick it up. And yeah, I'll just like pick the brick up and kind of look it over and take the note off of it.
And it says, "Get out of our town, pig. Pigs are prey. Wolves are predators." And at the bottom, it's like the Pack Alliance militia.
So, well, the the postings will get a little bit more aggressive, Mr. Carter.
He gets up and Goes over and looks. He takes the note from you, looks at it, and rolls. This is why I bring up the wolf thing. It seems to be that somebody is going full lefto-anarcho jackass on us and wants to get the military out of town. Don't know who, though we have cameras out now, so maybe we'll have caught who threw that brick. We'll see about it later. You don't have to worry about it. And he like pulls out this desk drawer, which is like full of like, this is not the first time this has happened, it looks like.
Oh, no, by all means, let's review the tapes and see see who this was. This does seem like a frightful thing to happen. I wouldn't want to keep you from doing your important work here.
I can't
So-
review the tapes with you unless you're in the Army. You can, if you want me to review them, you can leave the office now and I'll go over them. I'm sure Girk will find out about it eventually. Busybody.
Well, then perhaps I'll pop back in another day. Then, Mr. Carter, maybe I'll catch that other gentleman. Anyway, it was nice doing business with you.
Aren't you going to sign up now? Most people sign up immediately.
Oh, I wouldn't want to keep you from your security reviews and such. It can wait another day or two.
Oh, so smooth. Yes, you extricate yourself from the situation. Yeah, and Lincoln, do you know what you have been doing, or do you want a hard frame?
I kind of want to have a scene with Colt.
Sweet.
I don't know where it is though, but I feel like there's some things to talk about.
Maybe at Colt's house.
Yeah.
Or is this more of a public place, like
I don't know. I'd be at Colt's house. Maybe we're just back at the castle.
it can be the castle, it can be like a gas station, it can be
Or
yeah,
like, yeah.
let's do the castle then. That seems the easiest, and the place where we is it nighttime, so Jax can be up.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Okay.
I think Lincoln's probably like done all like the pack stuff, gone to work, and is now just like sitting at the bar. Probably like nursing a beer, and there's like probably something delicious in front of him. And I imagine maybe I just sent like Colt a text as like, we should talk.
And yeah, I think Colt's just going to kind of lean against the bar and say, "Well, what is it, Lincoln? Anything I can do for you?"
Okay, I have to ask out of character. Do I know about I don't know about Freddy yet, right?
The last game you were there when Freddy brought the sleeping bag to Colt.
Okay. Was I? Yes, I was.
Everyone's at
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'm not completely messing this up. I think I just look at Colt and like say, so what's up with you and the toothless kid?
Nothing so much yet. We're going out to look for werewolves on Friday night.
And yet he brought you a sleeping bag?
We're going to camp out in the woods.
Look, I'm telling you this as pack enforcer. Don't get involved with the toothless.
Look, I figure the best way of stopping him from finding out anything dangerous is to make sure he's looking where we know he's looking.
At you?
Exactly.
A werewolf?
I ain't exactly going to go all, furry in front of him.
I think Lincoln snorts. I think we all know that sometimes unplanned transformations happen. Look, one mistake has already happened, and that led to Mateo being banished. I just don't want to see this happen to you.
And I think Colt's going to lean sort of further across the bar and closer into Lincoln and say, "Are you sure that's the only reason you're worried about me spending time with him?"
I think Lincoln does a snort and it's just like, I told you in wolf form, I'll tell you again in human form. Don't think you're the one for me.
Whatever you say. But look, I'll be careful. You don't have anything to worry about.
Lincoln sighs. It's like, just if anything feels off to you, just leave. Don't let yourself lose control. Don't get angry. Don't get too passionate. And he just like sighs. It's like, I can't stop you, which is a lie. I don't want to have to stop you. And then I think, oh, God.
I say, no, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, well, when you have, you do whatever you have to do, Lincoln. I can control myself if that's what it takes. I'm not gonna do anything to make the situation anything more than it's going to be.
I think Lincoln nods. Good.
I think Jax comes by, like places Lincoln's favorite drink down and nods toward him. You should listen to him, cub. Mingling with the toothless, as you call them, only causes pain for people like us.
Well, Jax, I appreciate the concern, but I need to mingle with somebody, and well, we're fishing in fairly shallow waters around here.
I think he chuckles. If only I were a few centuries younger, Colt. He will walk off.
I think Lincoln just looks at Colt and goes like, That desperate, are you?
Hey, what can I say? He's kind of cute for a 300-year-old corpse.
Lincoln just looks over at his direction. Yeah, I feel like I'm overly attached to bottles of wine.
Well, you certainly seem attached enough to that beer you got there.
Some of us. It's been a long day, week. Do you want some? And he just like pushes it over at Colt.
Yeah, and I think Colt is going to drink it in a needlessly showy fashion, and then put the bottle back in front of Lincoln.
I
Was
think.
there-
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, was there like that eye contact as you like?
Absolutely.
Okay, just had to know.
I want to end the scene with this touristy girl coming over and giving Colt her number because she is way too wasted to see this is not a waste of time. Yeah, I think that sounds like a good place to end this without Acalia to help us wind down. So thank you all who have joined us, and we will end the recording now. Goodbye, Internet.